This is the Paradise Valley Railway, done by the Powell River Forestry Heritage Society. This is the station. This is active on weekends when the farmers market is underway here in Paradise Valley and Powell River. It's a figure-8 loop. Let's explore a bit of it. My impromptu visit here was during the quiet off-season in late December, and it was my first time seeing this miniature railway facility. I was figuring it out as I walked around, so please ignore my various terminology errors and guesses spoken during my video walkabout. After my visit, I did some research, and now I can present clearer information on this place. The miniature railway is named the Paradise Valley Railroad. It's owned by the Powell River Forestry Heritage Society, and it's co-located with the Farmers Market at the Paradise Valley Exhibition Park in Powell River on the Upper Sunshine Coast of British Columbia. Hey, that's in Canada. This 7.5-inch gauge track is 1,700 feet long, and construction started in 2011 in phases. Public train rides happen on Sundays between May and September each year, plus some special runs in October and December. Now, the typical consist is a locomotive. The main one is a gasoline engine, hydraulic driven with a ride-on tender, and there's 3 passenger ride-astride cars that seat 3 adults each, and there's a caboose. There's also a wheelchair accessible car, and there are also several hand cars. Welcome to the exhibition grounds here in Paradise Valley, just outside of Powell River on the Sunshine Coast. We're going to visit the Paradise Valley Railroad, just walk around it and see what it's like and imagine what it's like with trains, which happens in the summer. So come along. Here's some signage. Here's one of the train sheds. Show you the 2 tracks merging to one, and then going to the station through that shed or going out on the loop. This is next to the farmers market stands. This is a busy place on a spring and summer weekend. Here's the information sign on the shed. The track and the crossing, my foot for scale. And there's the Y going off to the main line. Let's check it out. Look back towards the station. There's the shed, there's the station, and here's the merging. Here's the junction. There's the frog and the switch. Let's walk the railway. Here's a steam donkey, the spools, trackside, and the tracks going into the woods. Here's another crossing on this path. Oh, we're going to go into a tunnel. Here's the tunnel. We'll take the path going through. As looking back towards the station, the extent of the loop. So we go through this path where we're bypassing the little tunnel. And the tunnel is through here. Nice. Continue on the perimeter this way. This is a nice forest loop. Again, looking across at the farmers market area. Oh, this is nice. Back at where I just came from. Oh, nice curve. Hey, here's some recent tie replacement. One of my goals for the last few years that I have not met is to make the effort to come up here on a day when the railway is operating and to ride it and document it. Here's another crossing for the trail. So let's approach the diamond here. This is exciting for me on any railway, big or small. It's the diamond. This takes a tight turn to go back to the station. Let's just follow where we think we're going. Oh, we're going to get a trestle. We'll take a good look at that in a second. We carefully cross over. In case anyone's wondering, I am being careful not to walk on the ties, not to touch the rails. I'm on the edge of the grade. There's another 2 diamonds as we cross the tracks here, going to the station and the loop track, however I want to describe it. And there, through there, we can see the trestle. We'll walk beside that in a moment. Still following here. Get a better view of what we just saw. There's the loading ramp track at the far end. 2 tracks, 3 tracks to the station. There's a loop around track. That's what we just crossed. Let's continue our path here, presumably following a typical trip on this railway. It's a nice switch stand. There's the station. We're continuing on. There's 2 tracks here. The near one to me on the right-hand side, that's the main trip track, I think. The other one goes over the trestle. Be interesting just to watch all the various variations of the route that they can run. And here we go. Trestle and a little bridge over here with the pony truss structure on the side. That's really nice. Oh yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. There's the trestle in the background. Here's another switch. Nice switch stand. So we can either do the runaround loop, go back across the trestle, or we can go in through the station to end our trip. Let's do the runaround loop. Cross the switch here. There's the switch work and the frog right there. Let's cross this diamond. Now it's making more sense to me. Oh, look at the signage. That's the climax. There's a lot of logging railway history in the Powell River area. Some of these locomotives ended up on Vancouver Island working, such as this one, the Blodell, Stewart and Welch No. 1 Shay. It ended up working at Menzies Bay near Campbell River after it was done here in the Powell River Myrtle Point area, and is now at the BC Forest Discovery Centre in North Cowichan as a display item at the entranceway by the highway. But I digress. Okay, we're on the loop track, following a typical trip, what I imagine to be a typical trip, here on the Paradise Valley Railway. Nice tight curve. Here's another diamond, that original one that we saw. Yeah. So we came from there through the woods and the tunnel. We went across, looped around, crossed a little pony truss bridge, looped around through there. Now we cross here and go on the trestle. Okay, let's continue this imaginary trip. Of course, we step off the railway. You can see it's raised up. Some fill. Just like a regular railway grade, the grade being held in by a retaining wall. Here's the trestle. Concrete blocks supporting a beam. And then stringer beams. There you go. There are rails in the middle. And hey, there's a Jordan rail. That's the inner guard rail. So that's why there's 4 rails. The inside rails are there so that if there's a derailment while on this trestle, the car's wheels get stuck between the 2 rails and that doesn't fall off the structure into this deep ravine right here. Oh, this is so nice. Oh yeah. Better view of the trestle works. Look at these bents. Nice. Okay, let's continue walking around. Here's the maintenance of way pile of ballast gravel. And looking back at the trestle. Oh, that is a nice structure. I think they're all nice. Okay, continuing our imaginary walk, our imaginary trip. Nice. I just love all the detail work put into this. Okay, back to the switch. This determines which of the tracks going through the shed for the station you are on. Oh, look at this. Nice wider gauge. This might be actual narrow gauge 3 foot. What looks to be a section of 3 foot narrow gauge track near the station shed is used for a scissor lift that runs on rails. They use it for loading and unloading locomotives from vehicles onto the track at the loading dock track. Here's a piece of the actual track railway. Yeah, this intrigues me. And we're just about done. There's the shed. 3 tracks inside, 4 tracks inside, including the lean-to. And back to the station. Thanks for riding the Paradise Valley Railroad. Thanks, everyone. I look forward to seeing this in action, hopefully in 2026. It's just all up to me. I can do it.